Initial thoughts. What do you think of it?
You can't just jump in like
No, you asked the question.
you already took a sip, yeah. So here, babes, we are still at 10. You thought we were done. We're only just getting started. Joe, you have hooked us up with some of your fine beer. Can you tell us, please, what we're drinking right now?
It's a red Rye IPA, hugely hopped with Enigma hop, so it's got a massive dry hop edition of Enigma plus a really late hop edition. It doesn't have a lot of bittering hops in there, so most of the bitterness comes from the dry hop and the late hop editions, which is a sort of new world way of doing things, but I really love the Enigma hop and the berry flavours it brings, so to really showcase that, I threw them in late. It's got a big hit of dark rye and a big hit of rye roast in there as well, so it's as you can see, it's quite a dark hit. I call it a red IPA. It's probably more like a almost borderline Cascadian IPA, but it's not really.
So I was going to ask, because when I think of an IPA, they don't normally look like this.
It's dark. It's definitely dark. One of the things about gypsy brewing is that you have to, you're sort of beholden to the ingredients that whoever you're brewing with has. So there's a few substitutions made for what I would normally use in this recipe, but I actually think it's worked really well. The colour's probably slightly darker than I would normally have, but the flavour's bang on. It's right where I wanted it.
So you're saying this is when you've been gypsy brewing. Does this taste like the ones you practiced with?
100%. So it's a little bit visually different, but taste-wise, it's almost bang on. The first batch of this I did with Eclipse, which is a New World hop, another Tasmanian hop. It's really hard to get hold of. For someone at my scale, it's quite easy to buy small quantities of, but for a big batch of it, it's harder to get hold of. So I substituted in the Enigma, and I couldn't be happier about doing that because it's such a funky hop.
So for the babes at home, when drinking this, what are we getting? Like what do you want someone to experience or drink?
Slightly roasty flavours, a little bit of spiciness from the rye. You'll get a little bit as you swallow a sort of throaty spiciness that you get there. It's got a hint of like a subtle hint of coffee or sort of dark flavours there as well. And then you should get a big berry hit from the hops. It should definitely taste like a black currant berry sort of flavour there as well.
I was definitely going to say, because the name of this beer led me in one direction, but the taste and the feel and the experience of it is very different to what I expected.
So what are you tasting?
Well, I'm getting the coffeeness that you said. That is upfront. I'm getting that straight away. That is probably the strongest flavour, the one that's sort of hanging around. But just sort of the darkness, the heaviness. To me, like if I had this without knowing what it was, I would probably say this was like a porter or a stout, something like that. Like definitely leaning towards the darker style beer.
Yeah, it's up there for sure.
Which is wild. Like it's so like it's a great thing about beer that it can be one thing, but then so different.
And it's so subjective too. Like so, for me, I don't get the big coffee. I pick up massive amounts of that Enigma hop, typical Enigma hop flavour there. But it's awesome to hear what other people think and feel from the beer.
And I think that's like I would say that out of the gate, I would not normally drink something this dark in flavour. I definitely lean more towards sort of like your fruitier, if you put Tropic in front of something, I'll buy it.
You're a self-professed hazy man. You were saying that earlier. Yeah.
Exactly. But like I think this has got a really sort of the coffee. Like when I said coffee before, it's not overpowering. I think it's the flavour that's sticking with me, but it's not overly intense. I think it's got a drinkability that I'm really enjoying.
It's supposed to be balanced. The whole point of this beer was to be a balance of flavours, not to be any one great thing that's standing out. Just to be a reasonably well balanced beer. That's it. It's a touch darker in colour than I probably would have originally anticipated, but I'm happy with that. Like it doesn't hurt the beer at all.
Yeah, that's it. So
The spiciness, like it's the spicy beer.
Yeah,
You can cut me out, but I'm getting
you
massively.
gotta sing it out, guys.
Yeah, the rye malt is what throws the spice in there, and you don't get you kind of don't get that unless you really think about it. So you've got a different palate again there, and everyone tastes things different. Yeah. Taste is totally subjective, but yeah, I pick up spice and then I pick up berries in that beer. That's 100% what I taste, and I don't taste the coffee that a lot of other people have said that they taste in there. I get more a caramelly roasty flavour, and then that spiciness, and then the berries.
Yeah, and that's I just had another sweep to make sure I'm making up.
It's the beauty of the world, isn't it? We all taste things differently.
It goes straight into coffee. That's the first thing that I get. And it's somebody right. Yeah, it's really interesting. I feel like I normally wouldn't go back to like a porter or a stout. But there's something about this that sessionability, drinkability.
It's also 6.8% or 6.7%, so you're not going to session it too hard.
You know what? Maybe I won't have.
You might pop your wobbly boots on if you session it too much.
It as far as like aroma, I don't know. I'm not getting. It's not overly pungent. Like, is that something that you thought about in the process?
You pick up the roast malt for sure. You can pick up a malty sort of aroma. There's not a huge amount of aroma there from the hops.
Yeah.
But a little bit. You get a really slight black curranty sort of aroma there if you sort of concentrate, but it's not pungent. It's there, but again,
it's not stuff. I often find that one of the things that will often turn me off a bit is if it's got both like a really strong flavour and a strong smell, because I feel like the two together can often be quite overwhelming for me. I feel like this one is definitely, it's got a strong flavour profile, but the smell is more mild, and I think that is helping me like enjoy this beer. But that's literally just me.
Before you guys wrap it up, do you want to mention about it being on tap for one of the first times and
do you want to do the interview, my man?
No, just cut me out. Like I'm not in it, but I'm just saying.
I think for the point of this interview, this is, if not the first, one of the first times this has been
100%. So we had a small launch party in St Helens at the Rye restaurant, which this is the house of that restaurant. And then apart from that, you are literally drinking the second pint that was poured on tap. And a really nice gentleman that I met at the bar who I decided to shout a point got the first one. While I was waiting, I fought for them to retap the beer. I was chatting to old mate beside me and decided to buy him one just because, why not? He looked like a good fella.
Yeah, I like that.
I really enjoyed this. I think it's not my normal sort of beer, but I think it's definitely really drinkable. It's got a unique flavour that I'm really drawn to. It's not overpowering, but I really enjoy it.
I don't think man-child beer ever wanted to be your normal sort of beer. And it probably has worked out quite well.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't aim to be your normal sort of beer.
Exactly. That's it. So this has been great. It's been great to sort of wrap this up with an actual tasting. We really look forward to tasting everything else you bring out. And hopefully they'll keep coming in tandies and we'll keep picking them up.
Hopefully this isn't the last time we catch up as well. Let's do this again.
That's it. I'm looking forward to regular chat. So, cheers, man.
Cheers.
Cheers, boys. Yeah, that's it.